Is everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
So this was my first ever introduction to Black Mask, and my first reaction was, "Who's this guy?" I was very confused.
Mine was Under the Red Hood.
The best Black Mask.
Mine might have been Arkham Origins. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't.
You didn't see Under the Red Hood when it came out?
Not when it came out, no.
Interesting.
Watched it later.
You're like, I don't feel like it.
I don't think I knew about it.
He looks dumb.
I don't think I knew about it at the time. I was like 10 years old.
No, this Black Mask is great.
The only serious Black Mask adaptation?
The only what Black Mask adaptation?
Serious?
Well, Origins is obviously a misdirect, but then he is in it for real, and I mean he's played pretty seriously. He's just kind of undermined.
He's just a misdirect, yeah.
And he
I
just
didn't
has
know
a
whether
cameo.
to count that because it's Joker 90% of the time.
I mean, he is in it.
Yeah, there is a side mission.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're doing that after Telltale, so we'll see.
Yep.
Speaking of which, not to talk shop on camera, are we finishing Telltale this week?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if I have to cancel, but I'm planning on being able to make it. So.
Robert, you're fired.
So that was a quick episode. They captured the bad guy,
and it's done.
We can go home.
It's all done.
I'm sure he has no nefarious plan.
Wayne Manor.
Yeah. We also haven't gotten a lot of Alfred yet, but this is one of the best Alfreds. He's great.
No, yeah, I love this Alfred. But to what you were talking about earlier, Torgo, with the claws, that's a very anime thing.
Yeah, and I really like it for a bat-like, creature of the night character. They should bring it back.
Did either of you ever watch the Jackie Chan Adventures?
No.
I saw bits and pieces of it, but I remember it, but I didn't watch a lot of it.
Pretty cool.
I always hear that show compared to this, but I have no frame of reference
just because
I've never seen that.
Well, that's just because the same people worked on it.
Okay.
That's why it's got this more, anime.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those shows from like the WB 4Kids or Kids WB era that I would love to watch, but they're just like lost to time.
That's true. It's really
instead of selling me nostalgia, just let me watch the things that I grew up with.
Yeah,
that is what I will pay you for.
One of my nitpicks with this season to the end is once Robin comes in. I don't know if you guys can tell, but Batman himself is redesigned a little. He's a little slimmed down. The eyes are smaller. It's slightly more traditional, and I prefer his older look. It's a lot more noticeable when he takes the cowl off. And I don't know if he's going to take off the cowl in this episode, but the Bruce Wayne face changes drastically from the first 3 seasons to now. So you probably can't tell yet, but if you look closely, like the eyes are smaller, like it is slightly different.
I can't tell right now because he is glaring. I like how short their Robin is.
Yeah. I've always liked this Robin. Yeah, if we ever see him with the cowl off, I'll point it out. Like when you'll really notice how different the Bruce Wayne face changes. And this Robin looks very similar to the Teen Titans one, which is fine with me because that's one of my favorite Robin costumes.
It's
and portrayals.
I mean, it's the anime art style. And B, like you're kind of stuck with that one unless you want to put him in those short shorts, which I don't think anybody wants to see.
Yeah, we're past that. But like I said, I do like the Black Mask, and he does pop up a couple more times in the show.
The one thing that would have been cool is if he got to do more future stuff is, what does this universe's like Tim Drake look like?
Yeah.
Or Jason Todd, although nobody was doing Jason Todd at the time.
That's
Or
true.
Damian Wayne.
He didn't exist yet.
But what if they made him exist?
Well, actually,
He may
Well,
have
actually-
existed by this.
Actually, yeah.
he may
It was
have
like
existed
2006.
before the show was over.
Yeah.
Probably. Fact checking.
That's a run I'm very interested to review with you guys. That is
We
the
gotta
only
do it.
Batman run that I own entirety in physical.
Oh, cool.
I have
We gotta
half
do
of the Snyder
Morrison.
run.
We got to do Morrison before the Brave and the Bold movie comes out.
That's true. At least Batman and Son.
At least Batman and Son.
Which
Okay,
sucks
so
because
if-
that's not my favorite part of Morrison's run. Jareth says, I actually found some old WB Kids recordings on my old VH tapes and was watching Jackie Chan Adventures the other day. Hell yeah.
Oh, that's
nice.
awesome.
Put
So
that shit
if you
on
don't-
Max. Anyway.
So if you don't count Damien as a baby, which was an 80s story from Grant Morrison with Talia, so Damien properly first appears in 2006, and this show was 04 to
Yeah.
08. So it was like right in the midpoint of the show.
Yeah, because I think that's the only Robin none of these animated shows have adapted. We got the movies, but
Well, he's in the Harley Quinn show. I think he's in one of the.
oh, I haven't watched that.
I don't know if he's. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff now. But we also haven't like had a proper Batman show since Beware the Batman, and that was 10 years ago.
And I mean, you could make an argument that's not really a proper Batman show.
Right.
This is
Although-
the closest. I would argue this is the closest we've had to a proper Batman show since this show ended.
If Beware isn't a proper one, then I don't think this is either.
How is this not?
Yeah.
You have all of the Batman stuff.
They're doing a different take on everything.
But it's not
Okay.
like with Beware, where it's like we're purposely not using all of our big villains.
That's a lot more drastic, I'll give you that, but still, it's like...
Their Alfred isn't
Yeah.
running around with a shotgun.
That actually never happens in the show. That was just a dumb, like, promo image.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no. I
Well,
don't think he actually uses a gun in the show, from what I remember.
but I also think they changed some things because of Backlash.
Maybe? I don't know.
I think
But,
they did change their
Torgo,
Alfred side.
My argument is, especially by the time you get to this stuff, yeah, it's a little more style. It's a different style, but this is basically a traditional Batman show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maybe by this point. I don't
I'm
know.
going to meet you guys
I'd have
in the
to
middle.
rewatch this.
Here's the thing. It's hard to compare a one season show that was canceled to a show that had a full run, because this show does become a more traditional Batman show as it goes. But
Yeah,
that
fair
first season was doing some radically different things that a lot of the old school fans kind of felt left out and couldn't get into. So, I don't know. Also,
Yeah, but I
Black
don't
Mask
think-
planned
I
to get
just don't-
caught.
Oh my god, what is this? The Dark Knight?
Did the Dark Knight rip off the Batman?
Yes.
I can't believe this show ripped off Skyfall.
But my argument with that would be, even from what I've seen of Beware, which admittedly I've only seen a handful of episodes, I don't know if you can ever get that show to a place where it's just a standard like Batman show.
Well, and it wasn't gonna
I think
be
you
because,
could.
well, but spoiler alert: you get to the end of that show, and it's setting up that the next season's going to be more Batman and the Outsiders. So it'd be more of a team show, which would have been cool. And I wish they just started with that. And didn't make a
would've
season
cried
building up to
foul.
that.
The problem with that, though, at least to me, is the previous show was also a team-up show.
Yeah, but it would have been very different because that was a different team up every week. The Outsiders is like a unified team that Batman kind of guides and watches over.
Yeah,
Like that was an '80s comic, I think, but that was a specific
show.
But that was a specific team of like 3 or 4 characters of like Black Lightning, Katana, Metamorpho, characters like that.
So you got my back.
I learned the other day that Katana in 2016 Suicide Squad is in The Boys.
Yeah, she's Kamiko.
Correct.
I did not recognize her in the voice.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Blew my mind. You mean she can actually act? Like,
She's a likable character in that
Well, she
show.
didn't get anything to do in that movie.
I know that was the point. She's just there. But hey, she had Rick Flag's back. That's something.
That's something.
Until she did it.
Yeah.
She's not in the next one.
Yeah, and then he dies.
He dies.
The important thing is that she had his back, and her sword traps the souls of its victims.
When we do that, we got to do like a double feature commentary for Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad. Just knock
I
it
thought
out.
you were about to say we have to get drunk.
Oh God.
For that.
That too. No, I don't think Robert ever wants to see me with alcohol again.
We'll
Depends
see.
on what it is.
Depends on what it is. Okay, but this is what I'm talking about, where some of the censorship is kind of goofy. Like, I like Black Mask's goons, but instead of
They all
having
got
guns, they got nightsticks. They got glowy nightsticks, and it's kind of silly.
Yeah.
It's not that threatening.
Especially, yeah, because of my point earlier, like, these are the more, like, thug gangster characters. They should be carrying guns, you know?
Well, but I think you could have gotten away with it in a show this stylized doing the laser guns.
Yeah, sure.
It's been so long since I watched this. Do they do just a straight up Robin origin, like he was in the circus, his parents were killed?
Yeah.
Yes. I put that on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I put that on the list. Yeah. And Kevin Conroy plays his father.
And Mark Hamill plays the villain.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's strange to think there was a time where it was like, yeah, we may never get like those two back.
Yeah, this is before Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, and then they were just in everything after that.
Yeah.
I am not complaining, mind you.
No, I love those guys.
I even like half of the Killing Joke movie. I know Noah likes the first half, but it's okay.
No. Does anyone like the first half of that?
Yeah, you do. You told me.
It's not even half. It's like a quarter.
Brian Azzarello likes it.
He does. And he'll get mad
like
if you criticize it.
Weird dude wearing like a Splinter Cell 3 goggle.
Voiced by Dietrich Bader, who would go on to voice Batman in The Brave and the Bold.
Hey. Huh? And then Harley Quinn.
That's true.
I don't know enough about that voice. I've only heard clips, and I was like, this isn't great, but maybe it'll work like when I watch.
Oh, I love Dietrich Bader as Batman.
Yeah, he's a great voice actor.
Especially for Brave and the Bold. Like, it fits that material.
The Batwave.
Yep. See, I like this episode.
Just to call me on the bat phone.
I like that this is their like diehard Assault on Precinct 13 episode, but with Robin and Batgirl.
No, I like that. Yeah. Like it's finding a way to take like the supervillain oriented formula of the show and use it to do some ground level crime stuff.
Mm.
And this Black Mask design is awesome.
Perfect.
You should have used him more instead of the Penguin.
I agree. Yeah, he shows up 2 more times.
Yeah. Or you should have cut down the amount of Penguin episodes and gave those to Black Mask. Still have some Penguin episodes.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the Penguin.
You gotta have the Penguin.
Gotta have the Penguin.
You gotta have the Penguin.
You just killed those guys.
They're fine. No, well,
that guy I don't think is fine.
He got it. We're good.
Speaking of Assault on Precinct 13, have you ever seen that movie?
I still haven't.
Yeah.
That's on my Carpenter watch list.
I've seen that.
It's pretty good.
I've seen the most iconic scene from that movie. as everyone has.
Oh, Wilhelm.
I want a vanilla twist.
No, like it is insane how good this animation is at times.
Mhm.
I think it's shows like this that really make me hate the state of like modern animated shows where they all look as cheap as possible.
We're getting better.
Yes.
We're starting to get some new ones,
We're
but God,
making
there was like a
improvements.
decade.
So
Crap.
I haven't I don't really keep up, but I have started watching My Adventures of Superman, and it is a step in the right direction.
That show looks pretty good.
Some of it just looks a little flat.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah.
I really like it so far.
No, the worst stuff is that glut of Disney Marvel stuff. Where
Well, I mean, I would
it's
argue
like
that starts with with like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
I don't know if I agree with that. Because I mean, remember
that
Disney
starts with
finds
like
Marvel.
Teen Titans Go and
that's all around the same time. That's over a decade ago.
Shut up! No, it was just yesterday. No, it starts with what's that show that everybody loves that everything tried to ape for the next like decade?
Steven Universe.
Steven Universe. It starts with Steven Universe.
I knew immediately
looks
what
like
you were
shit.
talking about.
And then but it was popular, so everything tried to be Steven Universe for like the next decade.
That's true.
And it all
we got
looked
a
like
Scooby-Doo cartoon that tried to look like that.
I like that his mouth doesn't move. That's a nice touch.
It's a mask.
I feel like I've seen versions where the mouth moves a little bit.
You're thinking of Under the Red Hood.
Under the Red Hood, yeah.
Well, you know, it all comes back to Under the Red Hood because that's the best.
But it's
mask.
the best one.
It's the best Flag Mask, yeah. But for like modern animation, yeah, we are going in the right direction. But you get something a little mishmashy like X-Men '97, where all of the action scenes look amazing, but then everything else is like stilted. All
To
the
be
dialogue is
fair,
like stilted, yeah.
It's at least pretty consistent with the original show, which granted was hand drawn and this is digital, but the original show could be pretty stilted. So
No, fair enough.
People are still arguing with me
seamlessly.
about the voice acting in that show, by the way.
Oh, why?
Oh, really? Ever since you did the video?
Because I said it wasn't bad, but I think Wolverine sounds bad, and everybody just keeps telling me I'm wrong.
I think he's fine.
You're wrong, John.
I don't know. I think he's the one. I don't think he can do that voice anymore.
He's also enough of a side character that it doesn't bother me. Maybe it will.
Yeah, that just makes me sad too. Like that's the best X-Man, and you just got him. You can't do anything with him because it's a kid's show.
I love Wolverine, but I've got plenty of X-Men content where he has more of a, lead role. I'm fine with him being a supporting player.
Well, the one that's the other one that's pretty divisive is Rogue in '97, where
I think she sounds fine.
She sounds fine. Maybe older, but I can hear that same voice.
Sure, she's noticeably older, but it's such a great performance that I don't care because she gets a lot of great stuff to do. Where I'm like, I'm glad it's the same voice actors because she gets so much more to do, and a lot of good drama.
Yeah, no, she's great.
Oh, this is a great scene. Very good, number one.
Oh my god. You can't do that on a kid's show.
That's my favorite scene. You're my new number one.
He did the Bob Gunn thing.
He did. It's great. He does he does a similar thing in a later episode where he straight up kills the guy. I'm like, oh my god, they got away with that.
It shows need more killing. What censors will like let people get away with.
It's never consistent.
No, there's a well, I'll save that for later.
He just punched that child.
John, Jareth agrees with you that the Wolverine voice is rough.
Yeah, it was really sad. And I think I'm more affected by it because that Wolverine is kind of like Kevin Conroy to Batman. Like, that's who I hear as Wolverine.
And I don't have that, so that's probably why I'm less.
I don't have that either.
Why
Yeah.
I'm less phased by
That's
it.
because you just watched X-Men the animated series like yesterday.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah.
I don't have it like as a negative, but I it took me a minute to get used to their Magneto voice because that Magneto from the original show is also like who I hear as Magneto.
I think the guy in 97 is good though.
He is. He's not the original guy, so I had to adjust.
But I think I grew up on hearing Steve Bloom more than anyone else as Wolverine. So I'm used to hearing him as Wolverine in a lot of stuff.
It's gonna explode.
Well, that was a ripoff.
Huh?
Where's the kaboom?
Boo! Have some
Where's-
guts.
Yeah.
I like
Where's
that he
the
has the
earth-shattering
staff.
kaboom?
I like that he has the staff.
I do
Yeah, it's
too.
very similar to the one on the Teen Titans cartoon.
Now I just want to watch Teen Titans.
We'll get to it. It's a great show.
Noah, have
We'll
you ever
get to-
seen that?
I've seen a little bit of Teen Titans. Not the full series.
It's good. And I
We'll
want a
get to
revival.
Teen Titans. We'll get to Teen Titans Go as well.
Oh, God.
No. You two can do that.
24-hour commentary. God, we couldn't even do that whole show in 24 hours. It's been going
Is it
that
still
long.
going?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it
Ow.
is, yeah. It baffles me that version of that show took off.
Anyway,
It-
that was
yeah.
a pretty good episode.
It's fun.
Pretty solid.